Nobody wants a high-stress job. Nobody wants one where you have to speak either. But lack of control over high-stress jobs could lead to an early grave, and that's not news that anybody wants to hear. Bring in business coach and employee morale specialist, Michael Ray Newman. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, let's talk about stress. We've all got it to some degree, but those of us who are more stressed than others, well, it doesn't sound like it's very good news.
No, it's not. There's a lot to this elephant. You just kind of take it a bite at a time and figure it out. When this survey did come out, it was when we were going through a huge problem in our country where people were cutting back and employees were having to do more. So that definitely doesn't help.
No, and that's still going on to this day. More jobs are being cut. Current employees are asked to do more and tasked to do more. And you can't always say, no, you can't do it. And all that does is stress you out.
That's right. But the good news is there is help on the way. We're seeing a huge uptick in our speaking and training industry is a $70 billion industry. And there's big companies and small companies reaching out for companies like us to come in and do training because they're trying to change the culture, and they're asking their employers or their employees, what can we do to help? What needs to happen out there? So if you are in one of these positions, and when that does come up, make sure that you have a couple of solutions to the problems. Don't just complain about it.
Now, wait a second. $70 billion? Karen, what are we doing? You say $70 billion industry?
Just in the United States.
Oh, boy. Oh, wow.
All right, well, let's talk about some of the solutions they're telling us from that $70 billion a year industry.
Well, really, it comes into balance, to stay in balance. I mean, and this is the problem, especially with this age group that this survey was done on. Balance doesn't come in a day, a 24-hour day now. You don't sleep 8 hours, work 9, come home, eat dinner with the family, watch TV. That's just not reality anymore. We're always connected with our phone and our devices. It seems like we can always be somebody can get in touch with us, and we let ourselves get pulled back in. Balance comes now in seasons. We have to sit there and understand there's times when we have to put the extra work in, but there's also times when we have to step back. And really balance also comes in those busy times, in moments. You've got to take the time to remove yourself, even if it's for a walk, or even if it's, look at yourself, yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, in your career. And you don't have to like everything about your job to be outrageously successful, but we have to manage it.
Business coach and employee morale specialist Michael Ray Newman joining us this morning on Memphis Morning News. One of the other temptations, it seems, is we sometimes, and you mentioned, we get pulled back in by demands and being so available. One of the temptations is that there is this fear that if we don't respond to the call, somebody else, another colleague or a competitor, will.
That's true, especially since we're always connected. And that's when you really have to have a good open dialogue. The communication is really the key here. And we want to be able to respond to things and not react. React is a negative thing. If you have take medicine and the doctor says your body's reacting to the medicine, that's negative. But if he says your body's responding, that's positive. So we want to make sure that we take a step back and we have that open line of communication and we can respond at the appropriate times.
What do you do if you're in a job where you've got deadlines or you've got quotas that must be met or you've got to sell a certain amount of something by a certain day? There's no really good way to manage that stress when you're trying to hit a deadline of some kind. Do you have any suggestions for that?
Yeah, we get ahead of it. I mean, we get ahead of it. We set up expectations to set us up for success and that we can win. There's really a big push now in this new buzzword called culture. When you have this culture, the right kind of culture, and how do we create that right kind of culture? So you want to get ahead of your deadlines and understand that there will be things that come up, but plan for those things. Manage that time, plan for the time, and when you can do that and when you can manage 10% of your time just for unexpected issues, you'll always be a little bit ahead of it.
I guess all of us still have that college mentality of just squeezing everything in we can in the night before the exam. Some of us still haven't mastered the art of planning ahead.
That's tough for a lot of us, I'm telling you.
All right. Hey, Michael Ray Newman, business coach and employee morale specialist, joining us on Memphis Morning News. Thanks so much for checking in with us and bring us a little clarity on this. And I guess Karen and I will just try to. In fact, you know what? Let's just cut the broadcast a little short. We're gonna end the show at 8:00 this morning and just kind of cruise for the last 8 or 9 minutes. Michael Ray, thanks so much for joining us.
No worries. Always great, guys. Call me if you need me.